Hi, welcome to another exciting episode of the Andre The Beast Crayton Show. Today we're going to talk about something that's really, really cool. We're talking about lessons that we learn from our parents or our loved ones, and how those lessons kind of shape our lives moving forward, and definitely keeping us in that beast mindset. Today on the show, I'd like to welcome, all the way from Indiana, the owner of several companies, and I'm not going to share them right now during this. I'm going to let her share it. The one, the only, Melissa St. John. Welcome to the show, Melissa.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know what? We had a pre-interview, and I was like clearly blown away with all the information that I found out about you, other than one in particular. We have over, what is it, my 15,000 connections on LinkedIn, and how many do you have?
I have 7,500.
And you're one of the 15 that I have, and we became really good friends.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's start out with, tell the viewers a little bit about who Miss St. John actually is.
Well, I grew up in Kokomo, Indiana. I was the oldest of 4 children, and my parents, still married, still alive, were very, very adamant that I had to work for everything I got. So maybe it's because my mom, in our younger years, was a stay-at-home mom, and we're on a one budget, my dad. So anyway, I remember coming home one day and I wanted some Glory Vanderbilt jeans. They were $32.99, and they said, we give your brother $17 for Toughskins from Sears, and you're going to have to earn the rest.
Right.
So at a very young age, I had to babysit, I had a paper route, I worked at Baskin Robbins. I was hustling, going door to door, collecting money for my paper route when they had those little tabs.
I used to deliver the paper, so I remember those little tabs and trying to get people to pay you their weekly payment, and they would come up with an excuse, catch me next week, and so forth.
Yeah.
What was it? What were your parents' occupation at that time? You're talking about Kokomo, Indiana. For the viewers that probably don't know, tell them a little bit about what the demographics of Kokomo and what your parents did for a living.
So Kokomo is pretty much a factory town, and so my dad was there because excuse the way I say it, but he's a shrink, so he would see all the people that worked on the factory and probably really hated their jobs, and he would counsel them and probably give them medicine and help them just get through life. Mm-hmm. But my mom had a master's in English, and she stayed home with us in the younger years. But my dad firmly believed that to raise children, you never give them everything they want. You make them work hard. He's taught me even with my own children. Do not spoil them. You make them work for everything they have.
How were their parents growing up? What was your grandparents like? Their parents?
So
were they strict? Because clearly, with a master's degree and him counseling the people at the is it the Chrysler plant?
Like Chrysler and Delco and all those factory people.
You guys wasn't struggling financially. So what were their parents like? Were they that strict on them growing up as well?
They both my grandparents were farmers.
Okay.
So I firmly believe they learned that work ethic, from being on the farm.
Right.
And always going out. Like my mom was one of 6 kids with 5 brothers, and she had to do all the laundry, do all the ironing, all the cooking.
Right.
Her mother died when she was 12. So she was all about work,
right.
And my dad grew up on a farm, and he had to wake up in the morning, do all the farming stuff. So then I think they both did not want to be on a farm. They moved away. They got their college degrees. They both got their masters, and they moved to Kokomo because of my dad's job.
When your dad and your mom made you, how old were you when you really started to develop this work ethic?
Probably when I wanted the Glory Vanderbilt jeans, when I was like in 6th or 7th grade. because Brenda Bassett had Glory Vanderbilt jeans, so I wanted Glory Vanderbilt jeans. And I just remember to this day, $32.99, and my brothers, $17 from Sears, and they were like, no, we're not doing it. Though that's a luxury, and if you want that, you got to go earn it. So I had to figure out a way, and I started babysitting, and I remember it was $1 an hour to babysit.
What was some of the complications that you endured trying to understand this work work ethic and to make sense of it all, because most individuals that age, they expect their parents to at least meet them halfway or something like that, but your life wasn't like that.
Well, they paid the $17, and I had to come up with a difference.
Okay.
So I think they were just trying to teach me that the things I was asking for were luxury items. And I still am that way now, and I work hard for my luxury items, but I earn my own money. But what difficulties, I mean, I guess I just didn't know any better.
Right.
But I did see my friends probably not doing the things I was doing, but I didn't care because I wanted those jeans.
What do you mean, like that?
Well, they weren't doing paper routes, they weren't babysitting. I mean, I did not see a lot of my friends doing that, not at all.
Did you question why?
I didn't. I knew I wanted what I wanted, and I knew I had to work for it.
So you knew that it took hustling
Yes.
to get this done. Move a little bit further. So you developed this work ethic. I don't know why I'm having a problem with my pronunciation today. With your work ethics. How did that translate as you got older? Because we're gonna get into that in a minute. You've accomplished a lot of stuff. Were there ever any setbacks along this journey to where you're at right now?
Well, I will tell you, I was happily married to an electrical engineer who made really good money. And you know what? I was all set and happy because I literally only went to work a couple days a week, and then I stayed home with my kids, and I did that for a long time. And then tragedy happened. So meaning, like, after we lost our daughter, everything went poof. You know, got a divorce. It was a hot mess. I had to put him through rehab 3 times. But after everything was gone, that gravy train was gone, it kicked in. I got to figure something out to support myself and my kids.
Let's go back a minute. I'm sorry for the loss of your daughter. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But you said something that was pretty profound here. You grew up with all of these values instilled in you. And you do, just like most people, hey, you happily ever after, you get married. Was there any parts in your life during that time prior to your daughter? Because you just don't come from grinding and then all of a sudden somebody's taking care of you. How did your mindset change from that moment? Because I don't see you, based on the resume that you share with me, that couldn't have been an easy transition for you to be all of a sudden Leave It to Beaver type environment.
And you know, that's a great question. That's very observant. I don't know why, but God gave me 2 kids that had a lot of health problems. So I was doing a lot of doctor's visits. My first son probably had more doctor's visits than my daughter with heart problems.
Right.
So surgery. So, you know, I don't even know that I could have held a full-time job with all the surgeries and problems. And I think he had 7 ear surgeries. He had, thyroid. He had his sinuses cleaned out. He had a collapsed lung when he was born. So literally, I don't know how or why, but God gave me these 2 children that had a lot of health issues. So thank God that my husband at the time had great insurance. And, I didn't sit home and knit. I had binders that were probably 4 inches thick with all the doctor's visits, all the notes.
So there really was no time to really focus on the values that you wanted to take into.
No, I was really the one that was just taking care of all the medical issues because they both just had a lot. My daughter had 100 days at Riley, 3 different admissions. And I was there every day, like all day. It was my job. So make sure it went well.
So now the environment really changes, because not only are you dealing with children with health problems, but a child who passed around the 16th month. And did your husband vanish right after that, before?
He really just drank himself to death.
Was it because of
her?
What he seen you going through dealing with the kids?
The loss it was really the loss of her just broke him. You know, it's just the saddest thing ever. They tell you at Riley Children's Hospital that 90% of people get divorced if they lose a child. I mean, he just drank, and I put him through Fairbanks 3 times, and it was just the most awful thing. I would never wish it on anyone to lose a child. So he didn't just vanish. It was just a matter of he was drinking so much after putting him through Fairbanks 3 times, and he did not ever really recover.
Right.
I just drew the line in the sand, and I just said, this is your choice. You either come clean or we're leaving, and we left.
When you leave, naturally your generational knowledge, let's call it what it is, the pounding of your mom and your dad instilling in you, keep going, keep hustling, that beast frame of mind. You're dealing with something truly, I don't even know the words for it. You know, the loss of a child, still trying to deal with the medical side of your son, and now a husband who had his own issues of coping with the whole scenarios, and you guys separate. How do you bounce back to get to this immaculate resume that we're going to get to in a minute?
Yeah, I did a lot of praying. A lot of praying. I'm very faithful. I believe God has a plan for everything. And I mean, I've had people say to me that if they were in my shoes, they wouldn't have made it. I'm strong, and I made it.
Oh, I can tell.
And I was not going to let this beat me. And so, you know, I went out and I raised a ton of money for the Heart Association. I did heart walks. I'm like, this is never going to happen to another, you know, family to lose their child. And just real quick statistic, when she had her open heart surgery, they told me that only 1 out of 10 kids survived the open heart surgery. Now, here we are, you know, 20 years later, now it's only 1 in 10 kids die.
Right.
So it's the research has completely, and I feel a little bit of responsible. I raised a shit ton of money, and I got awareness, and I went up to Chicago, and I was like, you don't mess with the lioness and her cub. You know, I'm like, we're going to start this endowment. We're going to have 100% of the money go to congenital heart defects. It's almost to $1 million. All that money only goes to research. They peel it off. They give the interest every year to research grants. But that healed me a lot to figure out I don't want this to happen to somebody else. And then I just didn't know what to do with my husband because he was not on board with anything. He just was drinking. And so when we left, I had to figure out a way to support my family, me, my son, and you know, it was the hardest thing. And I will tell you, the Heart Association tells me to have all these major losses all together. You know, it's like my home, my husband, my child, you know, all these things. I should have had a heart attack.
Right.
Because all those things are very huge things. To sell a home, buy a home, I had to sell a boat, sell a car. You know, I had to do it all because he wasn't capable. So I made it through that because I had no other option. So.
Man, that is, oh, wow, that's crazy. So how did the company come out of all this? I like the crusade that you went on to bring awareness to an issue that is sad for anybody that has a heart problem. And I appreciate you going on that crusade to raise money, to bring awareness. How do you now formulate your own life now? You did the crusade for your daughter, but life is life. You still have to pay bills, go on. He's no longer in the picture. You still have a son that's still with us. How do you get this off the ground?
So at the time of the divorce, I was working at Relocation Strategies for a gentleman who founded the company 25 years ago.
Exactly. What is that, so the viewers will know what type of company that is?
So Relocation Strategies, it's a 35-year-old company now. But basically, if a business is moving from point A to point B, we do everything for them. We can help them with the interior design, with the architecture, with the furniture, with the phones, the servers, the movers. It's really like, you know, the client doesn't have to do a thing.
Okay.
And I love working with big companies because they just don't have the manpower to do it. Like, oh, I'm going to give this to you on top of your job. So anyway, I worked for David for literally only a year and a half. And within that year and a half, I had gone through a divorce, and he stood by me, was very supportive. And then come about 6 or 8 months later, he sat me down and he said, would you like to buy my company? Because my wife wants me to retire. And I literally didn't even, for a nanosecond, hesitate. Yes, yes. And I mean, I just jumped up and said yes. And I was like, because I loved my job. I loved him. I loved my customers, my clients. I love puzzles. I like figuring everything out. Because it's a mess, you know, nobody wants to do this job that I do, and it's fun, and I'm good at it. So again, I got that all from my father. Do what you love, and you won't work another day in your life.
And a lot of people don't use that terminology, even in today's society. It's like I hear people that work great jobs, and they gripe about it. And I go, well, why are you doing it?
Yeah.
You know, wouldn't you rather take a chance on finding something you like, or and come home and be happy, and like you said, or wind up with a heart attack because you're miserable?
Yeah, yeah.
So tell me more. So you take the you buy the company, then what happens?
I bought the company, and I'm really not trying to pile on tragedy after tragedy, but the day that I bought the company was November 1st, 2007. It was the first day of the recession, and per Fast Company magazine. And for me to buy the company from him, I just want to frame this up. I was a single mom. I had to move out of my house with my husband into a little smaller house. I had to get a home equity line of credit, write him a big check for a down payment, and my mother did not want me to do it. She said it was too risky, and so I'm against that, you know, but lost every client that I bought because of the recession, because of 2007, 2008 recession. And so, you know, when you buy a company, what you do is you look at their clients, you look at how much revenue, you evaluate it, and that's how we came up with the price. Well, I don't have any clients that I bought because they all went away. And when I say they went away, it's not because I came in as a new owner. It's because 2008, 2009, 2010, nobody did anything. Like everything was just screeched to a halt. So I know that a gentleman that worked for us, he was a rock star. He made, you know, over 6 figures, and I paid his salary for almost 7 months that I had to borrow from the bank because I didn't have the money. And then finally he came to me and he said, Melissa, I can't do this to you anymore. I know you don't have the money to pay me. And I said, well, why don't we just put you on a, you know, a lower base and a commission or whatever. And he goes, I'm just going to go and chop wood and work somewhere at Lowe's or whatever, because nobody was doing anything. So it was a rocky start. And then let's fast forward to COVID. I lost half my customers, and I don't want to say I lost them. They all just put everything on freeze because nobody was going in the office. So there's no design, there's no renovations, there's no move management because nobody's doing anything. So I had to let go half my staff again. And it just has been.
Was there ever a point?
It has been a rocky road.
Was there ever a point to where you go, what the fuck did I get into?
I trust me. 2008 was terrifying. COVID 2000 was terrifying, but again, it was for a lot of people. You know, I'm not special. So, but I can't imagine doing anything else. So I stuck to it, and so yeah, it sucked to let my my.
What did you tell me when the show started? Combine your passion and your strength to create
a career you love.
And you use that.
Yes.
Keep going. I'm listening.
Yeah. So I've been taking some public speaking classes, and I actually finished. I graduated. I flew out to New Jersey. It's called Heroic Public Speaking, and the 2 people that teach the class have masters in fine arts from Harvard, and they teach like how to do a keynote. They teach TED Talks. They're world renowned. So people from all over the country flew in to get these classes. We had to go up on stage 6 times and get critiqued. It was like the most amazing thing. But the title of my speech that I give to women's groups, I'm speaking to the Indie Chamber for International Women's Day, but the title of the speech is Combine Your Passion with Your Strengths and You Will Love Your Career.
What made you decide to do that? I mean, you still haven't gotten your major company out of the red. What made you do a combined of shifts during this time?
Well, I am.
What was the need?
I am out of the red. I guess what I'll say is 2000 was terrible, but 2021, 22, and 23 have been the best years of my career. And you know what I think it was? I think everybody was pent up from 2020 and nobody was doing anything. And then like their leases were up or hey, we're going to downsize our space because you know what? Instead, like we just moved Frost Brown Todd Law Firm from 5 floors to 2 floors.
Right.
So anything that is change is going to be busy for us.
So you had a lot of people that had to reevaluate even their spaces where they did business to kind of like to not basically go under.
Yes.
Wow.
A lot of people were getting rid of floors because
So
they're working from home.
one door closes, semi-closed,
Yes.
and then boom, the pandemic made everybody go back and reevaluate
Yes.
themselves.
So that was good for us. And, you know, yes, 2020 was painful, but 21, 22, 23, and, you know, we're on track this year because people are all changing their spaces now. I mean, it's...
What did you learn from all this? Here it is. You've seen the devastation that happened during this transition, and you going through your own journeys trying to make your company successful and so forth. But when all this stuff came to be and opened up, what did you learn from companies that were coming to you going, okay, I might need to reassess a lot of stuff? What were you seeing as common interests in all of these companies that had to basically do a repackaging with you? What did you see that they all had in common?
Well, they want less space because all the surveys that are out there, you know, I'll give you an example. There's a global company I'm working with right now on the north side, and we did a survey with 400 of their staff. 52% of them only want to go in 2 days a week. So that's huge. That means their space is pretty darn empty 50% of the time. So we're literally going to, and again, when you say commonality, I'm just saying one company, but this is what I'm hearing from a lot of people, is let's take a whole floor of cubes, wipe them out, and then let's put in conference rooms, because you know what, you may only go in 2 days a week, but you don't want to work there. You like working from home,
Right.
but you want to go in and have a meeting with me.
Right.
But there's not enough conference rooms. So that's a trend I'm seeing is people are building conference rooms, getting rid of offices, or they're having reservable offices. So like Frost Brown Todd, they have like a whole, you know, like an area that you can go in and reserve an office. But let's just pretend I'm an attorney and I have an office at home. I only want to go into the office when I have a meeting or a deposition or whatever.
Right.
So it's drastically different. We just put in 16 phone booths for another global company on the south side.
16 what?
Phone booths.
You talking about?
Like a phone booth. Like it's a furniture phone booth. And do you know why?
Why?
Because the number one problem in offices is noise. Do you know why? Because everybody's on Teams calls because they're not going to see clients. They're staying and they're having a meeting with the screen. And so I'm like, hey, Julie, how you doing? Well, you sit next to me in the cube. It is so noisy. So now people need to go into these little, open the door, go have your loud conversation in there because people don't have enough conference rooms. So noise is a huge problem in the office because everybody's on Teams calls now.
Wow. This is some stuff that I never even thought about. You know, how did people, especially large companies, restructure their entire businesses? And this is one of the ways that you and your company provided that to happen. On a lighter note, before we wrap up, you also have another venture in business. Your hands is in everything, but this is a business that you guys have that's, let me get this right, 70 years in the making.
Oh my goodness. So
I had to go there. I had to bring this part up.
I married the ice cream man, and he has a ice cream store, and it's in Albany, which is near Muncie, Indiana. People are like, how did you end up with the ice cream man? Well, we met online, and he tried to get me to move to Muncie, and I said, oh, hell no. So anyway, he lives here, but it just had its 70th anniversary. It's because his grandparents started it, his parents had it, he's run it, he's worked in ice cream since he was 12, so he's a hard worker.
Really? So you actually now married someone that your dad instilled in you How's that working out? It's
Oh.
got to be great. 70 years.
Yeah,
With this going. What do you guys learn from each other?
You know, we talk about work all the time. We talk about, just marketing ideas. We talk about employees, Employee Appreciation Day. We take his employees out on the boat every summer, and we do surfing, we do tubing. You know, it's all about making people happy. And if you make them happy, then guess what? They're going to work hard.
Right.
So I totally appreciate my people. I bring in a masseuse. I have masseuse Mondays, not every Monday, but give everybody massages. So, you know, I help him, he helps me. We have all kinds of ideas, but it's all the same. Doesn't matter what business you're in. You have to keep your employees happy or they will not stay.
I hear that all the time, but you're doing a little bit more than that. You're still on a crusade to bring awareness to the loss of your daughter by providing, this is something that's totally crazy. What did you call it? Was surfing? Tell the viewers about that surfing thing that you guys
Okay,
do.
wake surfing.
That's it. Yeah.
So I'm gonna show the camera with my hands. So the boat has 2 ballasts in it, and you literally just flick a switch, and it goes up with water, and it makes the boat tilt just a little bit, and then it makes a wave behind the boat. So I will get in the water, and my husband will drive the boat. My son will be a spotter, but we teach people how to surf. But you get up, just like you're water skiing, you get up, and you're on the surfboard. Your feet are not in any, containers. You're just on a surfboard, but you're holding on to the rope, but you're right behind that wave, and that wave just starts pushing you, and then you throw the rope in, and you surf behind the wave, behind the boat. And I mean, I can probably go for 20 minutes with no rope.
Really?
It's badass. You gotta look up wake surfing, because we do it every weekend. It's so fun.
Are you the only company or the only service company that provides this type of lesson and fun?
Oh, we don't charge for it. We donate it to charity.
That's what I was waiting to hear.
Yeah. So, like, for instance, I just gave a card last night to somebody. It was a gift card, and it says 4-hour boat ride on Geist, and then surfing lessons. And so my son at his school, they had a silent auction, and somebody bid $1,000. Yeah, it goes to charity, but who gives surfing lessons? Like, I don't know anybody. So
And to stay up on there for 20, I'm going to have to sign up for one of these because, well, my knees might be able to handle
but
the water.
the boat only goes 10 miles an hour.
Oh, okay.
You can't get hurt. I promise. Because if you fall off, you're falling in the water.
Really?
You can't get hurt. No.
You know,
can't.
I was at Geist all this summer, and I haven't seen anybody do that yet.
Oh.
I'm going to have to figure out, is there a best time to do this?
You just call me and I'll take you out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
What's the end game for you? You definitely have that beast mindset. What's the end game for you? You know, you're definitely on all kind of crusades here and there. All are panning out and they're making impacts in everybody's life. What's your end game for people?
well, the speaking that I've been doing, I get joy out of helping young women. So I'm really enjoying the public speaking. I mean, I love my business, Relocation Strategies. I've been the owner for 17 years. We just opened up a new division called Relo Design. Mm-hmm. So meaning like, I don't want people to think we just do relocation. We do the design as well.
Right.
And I have a great team, and we're doing great. But my little side hustle is I really love doing public speaking. I mean, and I can see myself doing that until I'm doing it with a cane, because I have so much to give.
Right.
I have so much to say to the younger generation. I mean, literally just this morning there was a young girl in my office. I mean, it was for 40 minutes, but she was like, "Can I just come and talk to you?" I didn't know her, never met her before, but she heard me speak, and she's just linked in and said, "Can I just come in and talk to you?" And I yes, come in and talk to me.
What are some of the things that you're getting, before we wrap up, from the young people that you now tell yourself, wow, this is a need. This is a topic that you're surprised to hear about, but you're hearing this topic far more than what you thought you should be hearing?
I just really think they want a mentor. You know, they want somebody to talk to. And I had someone mentor me. And so Billy Dragoo, she's a, big time, woman business owner. She's won many awards. And she's a self-built company, and she has mentored me for almost 10 years.
Right.
So, if I don't give back and mentor someone else, she already told me there's a nice place in hell for me. Because that's what she taught me, is she mentored me, I got to mentor somebody else. And I mean, I think it's just having that person that you can call and say, what do I do about this? And how do I handle this?
Right.
And, I've called her and talked about so many things, and she's been so helpful and gracious. But yeah, I just that young girl coming to my office today, I could just see in her face. She just wanted to see, and I gave her some ideas, and I said, you know what, I was in Stanley K. Lacey leadership program. I said, you need to do that before you turn 45. I mean, I just kind of gave her some ideas. Mm-hmm. She'd never heard of it. So it's just somebody to guide you.
Knowledge is power. But before we wrap up, congratulations, because you are the Businesswoman of the Year. Tell us a little bit about how that award came about.
Well, my mentor, Billy, nominated me, and I've never applied for the award. And she nominated me, and when they called me and told me I won, I'm not going to lie, I about fell out of my chair. They came to my office, they did a little video, and I was all prepared. I mean, imagine that. They gave me like 4 questions, like, how long have you been in NABO, and tell us why you're in NABO, and blah, blah, blah. It's National Association of Women Business Owners. But then she totally tricked me and gave me a question that she didn't tell me about, and she said, what does this award mean to you?
What does it mean to you?
Oh, just huge crocodile tears just started coming down my face. My lips started shivering because it just means everything to be recognized, for everything you've done. You just do what you do with heads down, but to have a whole room of 500 people at the Indiana Roof Ballroom all clapping for you, I was so overwhelmed. I mean, I was just emotional.
Tell the viewers who you have to thank for that.
Oh, well, Billy Dragoo, thank you so much for mentoring me. I could never have gotten this far in my career without you. My husband has been the most supportive man, going to every event with me, every ball, every this, dressing up, wearing his ice cream cone tie. Don't wear that again. You wore it last time. I mean, so those people in your life, I mean, my kids, I mean, so I'm on my second marriage, obviously. So I have his 3 kids, but we have 5 boys, and they're just all so supportive.
How much of an impact is the lessons that started this whole entire journey impact you receiving this award, your mom and your dad?
My mom and my dad. I didn't even say my mom and my dad. Thank you. My mom and my dad, I want to say especially my dad, just pushing me to do what I loved. I mean, I don't know anything else. I mean, I would never go into anything else but what I loved. And I mean, I'm just saying, he just went over that every single, I mean, all the time. Do what you love, do what you love. But he was a model because he came home from work every day and he loved what he did. He loved helping people. Mm-hmm. He loved it. And so, you know what? He was always happy. He was always in a good mood. I've never heard my dad yell or cuss, ever.
Really?
He's the most kind, gentle man you've ever met. Just kind and gentle. And he's an author. He's written books. One of his books is called Do Not Be Anxious, Do Not Be Afraid, Do Not Worry.
Sounds like some key words.
And isn't that amazing? Because if we all practice that, we'd all be calm and peaceful like my dad.
Mm. How can the viewers reach out to you to be mentored, to help with the crusade of the addressing heart issues? How can the viewers reach out to you?
So, relocationstrategies.com is my website, and then our new division, relodesign.com. But really, LinkedIn, Melissa St. John. I'm in Indianapolis, Indiana. If you message me or ask to link in, I mean, I look through those all the time. So,
leave the viewers with that beast frame of mind attitude. I'm serious. This is cool. I like this saying that you said: combine your passion and strengths to create your dreams.
Yeah,
that's crazy. You leave them with something because that's your tagline, not mine.
Yeah. And then I will say that my favorite saying for everybody that knows me is, this comes from Lynn St. James, race car driver, which I love racing. and I heard her say, if you have not crashed, you're not driving fast enough.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another exciting episode of the Andre the Beast Crayton Show.